Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
If your girl, woman, wife, whatever, makes videos about you on TikTok, chances are she's telling everybody that she thinks you're an idiot. I'm not kidding. That's what's probably happening. There's this movement of women who go online and share about how incompetent their husbands are. There's a whole hashtag on it. Just sharing stories about like, oh, look what my husband did here, and men are so stupid, etc. And all I'm thinking is, what type of men are over here okay with their chicks going online and shaming them like this? But we know what it is. They're men who don't drink coffee, unfortunately. If you're lost right now and not sure what I'm talking about, here's a good example for you.
It's amazing humans can learn something new every day. For example, every Tuesday, my husband learns our son has soccer practice at 6. We have to stop making these incompetent husband relatable posts, and here's why. Because they're not funny. Anytime we perpetuate the narrative that husbands and fathers and partners are incompetent, they are removed from the daily happenings, the daily lives of their family members, we are condoning the behavior. Whether it's directly or indirectly, that's what we're doing. Could you imagine if a man wrote this tweet about his wife and how unrelatable it would be? That is the level that we need to get to. I know that this is easy content because so many women relate to this, but it's not helpful. It's very damaging to both men and women because men are competent. They are capable caregivers. Every time we make jokes like this about their incompetencies, about their inactiveness in our relationships, in our homes, in our families, we are continuing to enable that behavior because we are making light of the situation, and the situation isn't one to be made light of.
All right, so there you guys go. The video goes on, and she's just talking shit the whole time. It's one thing if you're talking shit about other people like me, right? Do what I do instead. Be better. No, I'm just kidding. But it's one thing if you're talking shit about other people. It's another thing if you're going online constantly talking shit about the man in your, that to me is just like, that's just very, very, very strange, bro. Very strange. So what happened? Well, there's a woman who actually decided to take a different approach to this whole movement. And I thought what she had to say was very, very important. No more waste of time. Let's get it.
So my husband is one of those husbands, the ones you see talked about in TikTok all the time, where these women are just sick of it and just sick of incompetence, whatever, where he didn't know what bus my kids rode. He didn't know their teacher. He didn't know what time they got home from school. He didn't know where their birth certificate was in the house. He didn't know their social security numbers. He didn't know any of that, right? So throw him out, right? Get rid of him. Kick him to the curb. We are just not putting up with it. Or, hear me out.
We're listening.
He didn't know any of those things.
Right.
But what he did know was what position my son played in basketball, always. And he knew all of his stats. He knew what part my daughter got in the play. And some other things he knew were how to tweak our heater, our furnace in the night when it would stop blowing warm air and it would just start blowing cold air. And I would nudge him and I'm like, honey, it's getting cold. I think the furnace is doing that thing. He would directly get up and go fix it. He knew the trick. He would always know if I would say my car's doing a thing or making a sound. He knew exactly what it needed to be fixed or what needed to be replaced or what needed to happen. As soon as the snow would start falling, we live in a cold place. As soon as the snow would start falling, he would get his things on and get out and start shoveling the driveway. Now, I could do all of those things. I could be taught how to fix the furnace. I could be taught how to fix my car. I know how to shovel, but I don't want to. In a marriage, there's a mental load, and you all have to share it. The two of you have to share it. I was fine knowing where the birth certificates were, knowing the kids' teachers' names, and knowing, what time they got out of practice and things like that. I was fine with that because I don't want to get up in the night and fix the furnace. I don't want to fix my car. I don't want to mow. I don't want to shovel.
Right.
So we shared the load. And also, I was never more than a phone call away. If he was ever somewhere where he needed to know their social security number or he needed to get a hold of their birth certificate or he needed to know who their teacher was, he could call or text me. Unless I was in a coma, he could get access to that info. Why did he have to know it?
Right. That's a good point. All this, why don't you know when practice is? Why don't you know where the kids like to, like, who cares? You're here. You can answer the questions that I have. It makes a lot of sense. It almost sounds like the women get online on TikTok and you think, I'll say this, you would think that the chicks who are married, who are actually married, wouldn't be complaining about their own situations and their own men. But they do. It's like they just can't be happy. Some women just can't. It's just you're never going to do it. You're just never going to do enough. Let's keep listening.
I feel like we're on this rampage to come out against marriage or men and that don't know some things. And again, I know I'm not speaking for everybody. There are some men that it's not the same story for everyone else. But I'm also saying that whatever your marriage looks like or whatever your shared mental load looks like, it doesn't have to look like everybody else's. You know, maybe just stop and think about that a minute and let's not be quite so angry. I don't know. What do you think? Love you.
There you guys go. This one says 100%. Thank you. Somebody else here says it's almost as if a marriage is a partnership and people bring different qualities to the table. I can't stress how much like that tweet of saying my husband, blah, 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 like complaining about your husband publicly. I would never get on here and talk shit about my wife. No, people don't need to know that. Right? We talk shit about other people. That's how you got to do it. Another comment here says, thank you. Sometimes I realize that TikTok is teaching me to hate my husband, and I have a great one. You have to understand when you have a great significant other in your life. Somebody else here says, sorry, I don't really think him doing his part of some things makes up for not holding onto any of that mental load. Wow. Lost. It doesn't take mental energy to mow the lawn or tweak the heater. Literally none. You guys see this? No, it doesn't take any mental energy to mow the lawn. Really? 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 Golly, bro. Unbelievable. Somebody else here says, I'd like to be a fly on the wall while my ex is crying on the couch because of that newer POS. Oh, okay. He wants to, I guess his ex left him. He wants to hear her cry because he's not there to fix it anymore. That's funny. Somebody else here says, my hubby and I both handle our own lane. It's worked for 40 years. Look at that, right? She handles what women handle. He handles what the man handles. Somebody else here says, girls need to stop going to the Taylor Swift school of relationships. I love this post. Somebody else here says, bingo, it's not a lack of care. It's a difference of what's important. It's kind of like couples are meant to be a team. Here's somebody else who says, most of us married people understand the yin and yang of successful relationship. We just keep quiet and do us. Love your message. Here's somebody else who says, my wife is my cloud. I store all my data there. It's easy access for me. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah. If it works for you, it works for you as far as efficiency. As always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.